morning everybody, hope you're enjoying whatever you're doing today. I'm walking in town to do a quick video on Art Deco buildings in Belfast. Now these are generally localised within the city centre. There's a couple on the outsides. Belfast doesn't have that many Art Deco buildings left, there's only a handful left. There's a few reasons for this. Okay, there were more back in the day, but I believe with obviously the Troubles, a lot of them were destroyed or demolished, and they made way for cheaper buildings just in case they did get destroyed. You'll see that around a lot of city centres, quite a lot of ugly looking, cheap looking buildings, and that's the reason for that is because they knew that there might be explosives or bombs during the Troubles, so why bother put money into nice, elaborate, expensive buildings. That's obviously changing now with revival of architecture around Belfast and stuff, so quite a lot of expensive buildings being built, but hopefully times are changing, but in the past this was the case. As I said, the main ones are centralised around the city centre, so Donegal Square, High Street, Royal Avenue and such. Okay, so it's going to be quite a quick trip and quite a quick tour around these buildings, but there's ones obviously in the outskirts of Belfast too. The main two are obviously the Strand Art Centre, Strand Cinema in East Belfast, and then obviously the King's Hall on the Upper Lisburn Road too. King's Hall is a bit worse for wear, Strand's still looking great. So Art Deco is sort of from, I suppose, mid-20s to 30s. There was like a French architecture exhibit in 1925 in, I think, Paris that the name comes from. Hugely long set of French words, so I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce, to be honest with you, but that's where it comes from, the Art Deco name. The reason why these buildings are centralised within the Belfast city centre is because the economic climate at the time meant that Belfast didn't really expand that much. Okay, it was around the time of the Depression and stuff, so when this sort of architectural form came about, they didn't have the money to go beyond the city centre and to the outskirts of Belfast. Okay, so that's why you're seeing the centralisation of these buildings here. So, but I'll take you to the first one, which is Donegal Square East. So this, surprisingly, is the first one. This is Imperial House. Sort of see similarities to Art Deco style. It was like a later period, so it was 1935. This was built by Kendrick Edwards. He was the architect for it. On Donegal Square East, so you see the big Ulster Bank building there. It's a bit more exciting. As I said, this is a more minimalist style. It was the latter period of Art Deco, so they didn't put as many ornate features in it, but it's still a nice building, just not as impressive as others. This one here is our next one on this. That was built in 1925. It's before you reach British Home Store, so it's on Castle Lane, just down here. This was, as I said, 1925, so it was around the time of the rise of Mussolini. Certainly you can see this influence in the design there, so you can see the lion and it's the barn, like pasties, I think it's pronounced, which is like a Roman word for the time of a bundle. And this was used as symbolism for Mussolini, who would have taken a lot of his influences from Roman times and Roman influence and stuff like that, like the empirical sort of terms, and basically, yeah, you can see that sort of at the head of the Roman army. It's like its own jurisdiction. So this is our next Art Deco building. This is where the Cafe Nero is on Ann Street, and it was built in 1935. Visit Belfast says it kind of looks like a car radiator, which I kind of agree with. Later period of Art Deco, so it's not as elaborate. It's okay. It's a bit run down. So there's a few other buildings in the city centre, but the main remaining ones we're going to focus on here are going to be Ann Street, which is down this way, and then obviously on Royal Avenue 2 and North Street. So we're getting some really good ones and sort of saving the best for last. So we're getting to the good stuff here in High Street. I don't know if you all knew about this one, but where Dunstores is, this is a very, very famous Art Deco building. It was actually designed by Woolworths and Burton, the department stores. Okay, it's actually, I think this is where the Woolworths used to be. There was a Woolworths in High Street. I think it was just here before Dunstores came, but Dunstores has been here for a long time, so you can still see the name Woolworths up here, and then Burton up here too. Very minimalistic, sort of mid-period of Art Deco was 1929 to 30. You can see sort of like Egyptian influence as well in the decoration. I think it's a really, really cool and striking building, even if it is minimalist. So I'm on North Street here. Okay, you can't really see too much of this. It's more of a remnant of Art Deco, unfortunately. But this used to be the North Street Arcade. I used to frequent here quite a lot, especially in my wee rocker days. There used to be like a wee shop at the bottom of it. I could buy like sort of heavy metal CDs and clothing and stuff like that, you know, so that's pretty cool. But there's some cool artwork there, but it was unfortunately vandalised and destroyed in 2004, so you can't see much. You can see sort of slight remnants of it around the windows and stuff like, but it's all gone. I do hope to keep the top of the building. It's quite nice too, like, but that's unfortunately destroyed. And there's been quite a lot of buildings around city centre have been attacked by arson. But to be honest with you, I wasn't really down North Street to check that sort of remnant out. I was here to check out this beauty, which is the Sinclair building. Now that is sort of what I think of when I see Art Deco buildings, that sort of Greek facade at the top there. It's actually built in two different parts. The bit that I like is actually the latter stage, which is this front bit, which is 1935. Later stages usually aren't that ornate in terms of Art Deco architecture. The back bit was built in 1926, and that's nowhere near as ornate. You can see this in these sort of buildings, like you got a lot of Egyptian and Greek influences in these, like the columns and the top sort of bit, and even some of the lettering too. But right behind me here is, if you follow this page, my favourite building in the whole of Belfast. This is what I'm really here for too. It's my favourite building in Belfast, and what I think is the sort of jewel in Art Deco crown in the city centre and even beyond is the Art Deco Bank of Ireland building. I sort of, especially the top bit there, okay, that sort of reminds me of what Art Deco should be like in the media and like movies and TV shows and stuff like that. That's what I sort of think of, like the Empire State Building sort of look. Even like, if you're a nerd like me, the Batman animated series from like the 1990s, that sort of Art Deco feel about Gotham City. It's a beautiful building. It's amazing. It was built between 1929 to 1930, and it only stopped operating as a bank actually in 2005. Belfast a few years ago occupied this. Kind of got ruined a wee bit by some of that, and there's been a few squatters and stuff making their mark on it, unfortunately. And it has a little bit worse from where. Worse for wear, a little bit of damage done by a building demolished next door too. But I mean, the facade still remains. If you have any ideas of what this building should be, comment underneath this, or you know, send me a DM about this, because I really don't know. I think it would be a cool hotel, but there's a lot of hotels in Belfast now, so I'm not really sure. There's no cars about, so I can cross this road and film quite safely. But yeah, here's a bit of a close-up of it too. Absolutely stunning building. I'm glad they've kept this sort of lettering, the same sort of style of this too. The Greek sort of influence at the front too. Even close up, the doors, a little bit worse for wear, but they can be sort of refurbished. And there's been a few sort of potential bidders on the scene. I think it has been bought again. It's been bought about 10 times here. So hopefully they do something really, really cool with that. I think maybe even like an art exhibition sort of place, or even like a cultural hub where they can have like comedy nights and music nights and art nights and things like that would be pretty cool use of this building. But yeah, that's my favourite building in the whole of Belfast, not just Art Deco. So we're now at one of the most iconic Art Deco buildings. That's just on the intersection of the Hollywood Road and Pims Avenue here in East Belfast, and it's the Strand Theatre. This absolute beauty was built in 1935. There were a few refurbishments in the 60s, 70s and 80s. Not very good refurbishments, to be honest with you, but recently they've gone through a bit of a change. Still a working cinema now, the oldest Art Deco cinema in Belfast and across the whole province, I believe, maybe even the island, and it's stunning. You can see the sort of seashell effect sort of thing they have in our Art Deco design. That's obviously not the right term, I would say, but that's what I call it. That sort of like plumed effect, like the staggered sort of top. I've kept those sort of colours the whole way down as well, you know, the baby blues and the pinks and the cream and stuff like that too. And it's really, really beautiful building. It does need a touch up. It's a privately owned building, so it does get a lot of funding from the local community too. Definitely a better view across the road. You can see it sort of in its full glory. Still working cinema, still shows usual movies. It also shows like live shows, and I believe it did a few like sort of live stage shows too. kind of wish that it came at night because it is lit up beautifully too, and you can see sort of the colours a little bit better there, better than the light of the day. But yeah, definitely one of my favourite buildings as well in Belfast. I really love the Art Deco style, which is why I wanted to do this video. I think I got a lot of feedback from previous photos that I've shared of Art Deco buildings. But yeah, really worth seeing if you're a fan of the style. So yeah, that's my second and last stop. That's the Strand Art Centre, otherwise known as Strand Cinema. Absolute beauty, I'm sure you'll agree. And we're off now to the final destination. Last stop, which is a formidable looking King's Hall. Now, the King's Hall sort of premises itself, not the building, the premises around it, was actually built in 1896. But the building was constructed in 1933 and opened in 1934 by the Duke of Gloucester. Designed by Leach and Partners. As I said, it was designed and built in 1933. You can see sort of the buttresses and motifs, Art Deco sort of style, right at the top there. Still got the clock, it's not working at the minute, and obviously it's not in use. It's been closed for about 8 years now. I think it was 2012 was the last use of it. The Balmoral show moved on to the Icon Centre just outside Lisburn, and that was the sort of main draw for it. But I mean, this building has hosted so much over the years. Boxing matches, huge concerts, the Balmoral shows, as I said, and there's a lot of plans for the future, but thankfully and hopefully they keep that beautiful style too, because it's a stunning building even if it is worse for wear at the minute. Right at the front of it you can see sort of some of the history aligned and what's going to be in the future. So the Balmoral show was hosted in here. The Beatles performed 2 sellout concerts here in 1964. The DeLorean was first showcased here. And in future there's going to be a health and wellbeing hub. I have no idea what that means. But you can sort of get an artist rendering. Thank God they're keeping the actual facade itself, you know, if that is what it's going to look like. I would love to see some sort of cafes and things. But it looks like it's going to be some sort of privatised hospital facility, which is an odd thing to make out of this. You can tell me what you think about that, but the benchmark for the future of healthcare in Northern Ireland. I would have loved to have seen this as a concert venue again, or some sort of showcase venue, and actually utilise the huge space inside. But maybe if it's for research purposes and things like that, it might be useful, but it's not what I would foresee in its future, you know. But who am I? Just a lowly Belfast guy. But anyway, that's our final stop, the stunning King's Hall. Can't wait to see how it's refurbished in the future, and hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you have a lovely evening, and if you have any suggestions for future topics you want us to cover, then give us a wee shout. And if you haven't, check out our YouTube channel, Belfacts. That's available, and subscribe if you can. See you later.